Every year, thousands of Canadians walk into a recruiting office with the same question echoing in their minds. How much money can this uniform actually put in my pocket? The answer isn't what most people expect, and by the end of this video, you'll understand not just the salary, but the housing, the pension, and the tax breaks that make this career far more valuable than the paycheck alone suggests. If you're a proud Canadian watching this, drop "Proud Canada" in the comments, because what you're about to hear is the real financial backbone behind the men and women who defend this country.
Dark notice. The unseen exposed.
The Canadian Armed Forces isn't just a career, it's a system built on rank, risk, and responsibility. And like any system, the pay structure reflects exactly that. The more danger you accept, the more the compensation grows. But very few outsiders understand how that ladder actually works, or what sits behind the base salary. So, let's break it down, layer by layer. A brand new private, fresh out of basic training, starts around $43,000 a year. Not glamorous, but living costs on base are minimal. Once posted to a unit, that climbs to roughly $63,000. After 3 to 4 years of solid performance, promotion to corporal is nearly guaranteed, pushing salary to $74,000 to $79,000 before any bonuses. For those choosing the officer path, an officer cadet starts between $42,000 and $54,000. Within 4 to 5 years, as a lieutenant, that grows to $74,000 to $89,000, and stepping up to captain brings a salary between $94,000 and $124,000. At the very top of the risk spectrum sit the elite trades. Search and rescue technicians earn $120,000 to $160,000 a year, while Canada's secretive special operations community, CANSOFCOM, starts around $98,000 to $107,000 in base pay, with insiders suggesting classified allowances push real earnings well beyond $150,000, potentially $200,000. Housing. But salary is only half the picture. Military families can rent a full 4-bedroom home on base, known as a PMQ, or private married quarters, for under $850 a month. In a country where the average rent has spiraled out of reach for millions of civilians, that single benefit can be worth more than a raise. Risk allowance and deployment pay. Then there's risk. When a soldier deploys to a hazardous posting, the military pays what's called a risk allowance, extra compensation calculated on both the probability and the severity of the danger involved. Add in field pay, jump pay for paratroopers, dive pay for combat divers, and deployment pay, and a single 6-month deployment alone can leave a disciplined soldier with $30,000 to $40,000 in savings. Here's a detail most Canadians have never heard. Since 2017, all Canadian Armed Forces members on active international deployment pay no federal or provincial income tax on the employment income earned during that deployment. That exemption applies up to the highest pay level of a lieutenant colonel, meaning a soldier can come home from a mission with their entire deployed salary untouched by the taxman. Here's a question worth sitting with. Should a country's most elite soldiers be paid even more than they already are? Or is the secrecy around their compensation part of what makes the role work? And when the uniform finally comes off, the benefits don't stop. The Canadian Forces Superannuation Act pension plan, combined with the Canada Pension Plan, provides former members with retirement income considered competitive with and often better than private sector packages. Pensions are also indexed to inflation every year, based on the Consumer Price Index, meaning a soldier's retirement income keeps pace with the rising cost of living long after they've left the service. So no, nobody joins the Canadian Armed Forces to get rich overnight. But between subsidized housing, tax-free deployment pay, risk allowances, and an inflation-protected pension, the total compensation package tells a very different story than the base salary alone. Behind every rank insignia is a number, but behind every number is a soldier who accepted risk most Canadians never will. And that's the real story. This isn't just a paycheck breakdown, it's a look at what Canada actually invests in to keep its military strong. Do you think elite trades like SAR-techs and Special Forces are compensated enough for the risks they take? Or should Canada invest even more into its military personnel? And knowing what you now know about the pension and tax-free deployment pay, would that change how you view a career in uniform? Let us know in the comments.